Arizona's family investigates. A heads up for parents. Before you put your kids in the car, something you could be doing might be putting your kids in danger.
Car crashes are the leading cause of death for most kids and teens, but not in the earliest years of life. As Michaela Marshall shows us, a step some parents may take far too soon could be a deadly mistake.
It's a scary sight, even if the kids are dummies in a crash test video. Statistics show that children slamming into the windshield, like you see here, is entirely preventable thanks to car seats. Jacqueline Martinson knows this firsthand. Her daughter was in the hospital in critical condition for months after a serious rollover crash in Prescott in January.
Somehow she lost control of the car. The car rolled about 3 or 4 times, and in that process, she was ejected out.
But her 11-month-old granddaughter, who was also in the SUV at the time, was barely hurt because she was strapped into a car seat.
She actually came out of this situation by the grace of God with just a couple bruises.
In Arizona, car crashes aren't even in the top 5 leading causes of death for children under 4. But once they turn 5, it's the #1 killer.
Something happens at about 5 years old where we think that they're big enough to sit in the vehicle seat. And so we transition them way too soon from a car seat into the vehicle seat. Once we make that transition, children aren't safe.
Yomaira Castillo is the Injury Prevention Program Manager for the Arizona Department of Health Services. She's part of the team that collects annual data about child deaths in our state.
Every child should be able to live through a car ride.
Current Arizona law requires children younger than 8 years old and shorter than 4 feet 9 inches to be properly secured in a safety or booster seat.
It's not a one-size-fits-all. There's even children up until the age of 10 that can be in a car seat.
She explains it's more about a child's height and weight than their age. And booster seats are a critical next step for kids too big for rear or front-facing car seats.
They save lives because what that booster seat is doing is hitting the child in the appropriate places. So over their hard shoulder bone and on their hard hip bones. That is the point of contact for a seatbelt.
But even if you have your child in a car or booster seat, things can still go wrong. According to national data, more than half of all car seats are not installed or used correctly. But most parents don't realize they're making a mistake. Experts say the proper installation of a car seat can reduce the risk of death by 71%.
I would say 90% of the car seats that come through our car seat check events are improperly installed in some way.
Megan Chu is a certified car seat technician, part of the Mesa Fire Department.
Now we need to make sure that we lock our seat belt.
She helps parents at monthly car seat inspection clinics and says children should stay in a rear-facing car seat for as long as possible.
Babies and toddlers are very top heavy. Their head grows much faster than the rest of their body. So if I turn my child around too soon where they're in the forward-facing mode, if there is a crash, that whiplash can cause severe injuries to the neck and the spine.
Arizona's first car seat law in 1991 was for kids under 5, and at that time, car crashes were the leading cause of death among children. In 2012, the law changed to apply to kids up to 8, and while fewer younger children are dying in wrecks today, the problem persists with the 5 through 14 age group. Data show just because your child is school ready doesn't mean they're ready to ride with just a seatbelt. DHS says the focus needs to be on keeping older kids in car seats longer and installing them correctly.
If a car seat is used correctly, facing the right direction, installed the right way, with the harness correct, they save lives, and it's proven, it's in the data.
And that rings true for families recovering from bad accidents with good outcomes.
Definitely have your baby strapped in, 5-point harness, the safest one out there, because that's what saved baby Iceland.
And if a parent is caught not following the car seat requirements, the fine could range from $50 to $250. Certain car seats are safer than others. Consumer Reports does crash tests to find out which ones on the market are best. We have a link to those findings on our website, azfamily.com.
I think one of the toughest things for parents is there's peer pressure even for like kindergartners of neighborhood kids or older siblings being like, you're still a baby, you're still in the car seat, but you have to be the adult for their safety.
Yeah, I think that's really tough because, you know, they're going to school, they're among kids, and they feel too big, too grown up. But that's why the booster seat is so important. You know, they don't necessarily need to be in a traditional rear or front facing car seat, but those just little boosts can make a huge impact in reducing the number of deaths, and that's what the data shows.
It's so clear in that video too, and the kids are sitting there and the seatbelt's right around their neck, how dangerous that can be. And then in terms of the car seats, I'm checking this list, which is on our website, as you mentioned. It doesn't necessarily correspond to price. Some of the better models are actually cheaper than some of the more expensive models.
Yeah, which is why it's important to do your homework, right? And Consumer Reports is a great outlet that does this kind of investigation all the time to make sure everyone is safe, and it really doesn't matter the price as much. It's certain features on the car seats, and so we have that, like you said, on our website.
Important conversation to have for families. Michaela, thank you.